Hello, and welcome to another video series, another video. In the previous video, we covered if function. Now let's see how we can use if function and end, or if function at all. Usually, where do we require to use two function if and end is where usually we are required to test two or more function, or we're having two function we need to return to test two logical operation. That's where we use if and end. Now let's see how we can apply. I've created demo data. For example, we have application data. I've just added the name and age. And with this data, let's say we want to filter only students with above 25, and applicant, sorry, not student, applicant above 25 and less than 40, but it be inclusive. That way 25 and 40 has to be included in our filter. So how we can do that is by using end. And end, it's the mathematics, the Boolean algebra mathematics, whereby when you pass all the logical expression inside this function end and all the logical expression return true, it will eventually fill true in the C3 cell address. So the end of a function, it does compute, it does check all the logical expressions that's applied to it, and if all the logical expressions applied are true, and then the entire statement will result to be true. Now let's see how we can use end and if inside just as two functions at the same time. Now I've typed end. If we read it, say checks whether all the arguments are true and return true if arguments are true. So just repeat it there. And then we are supposed to check the logical expression. So with our question here with this data is that we want to get above 25 applicant and below 40 but inclusive. That means 25 and 40 has to be in this. So I'll write if inside the end function, and inside if I'll need to test if the age column is greater or equal to 25, because the results the question require 25 and 40 to be inclusive. After there, write true or false directly, because the end function will require to have a value either if it's true or if it's false. So I'll write true or false, and then I'll close. Thus I finished the first logical expression. I'll put comma and then add another if. I'll check again if age column is missing operator. Okay, I'm supposed to put an open bracket, and then I'm supposed to also check the column age, and here I'm supposed to check if it's below or equal to 40. From there I'll return either true or false. The reason I'm using true or false inside the if function is that the end operator will only require two answers. It will only require Boolean answers, either true or false. So if you use if with strings, it won't understand. Hence, it won't compute to a final result. So here we have used if and end function at the same time. If you press enter, I think I forgot to put the final closing bracket. Yes, it was one final closing bracket. So once it's fixed that, it says this first applicant one with age 25 qualify in the filter where we are checking for applicant above 25, above or equal to 25, and below or equal to 40. So that's thing qualify, and that's how we can use if and end at the same time. So if we were requiring to filter this data to get only 25 and 40, from here now we can insert the filter, and then I'll go to filter, and since the data that return true are the data that the data that agreed with the 25 and below 40 question, so I'll only filter the true one. So these are only all the applicants who their age they are above or equal to 25 and below or equal to 40. So that's how we can use if and end at the same time. Now let's see how we can use if and or. For example, we are trying to see if an applicant, let's see how we can use if and or. Or function, it says here it really checks whether any of the arguments are true and they return true or false. Return false only if arguments are false. So the or operator will always only return false when all the argument, all the logical expression which have been passed through that or are false. That's when the or will return false. So we'll change our question. Well, no, we'll keep our question to being we are looking for 25 or 40. But this time let's keep our data the same way, and then we'll see how we can manipulate or. Then I'll put or inside here. I'll put if. You can check also or operator or function has more or one logical expression. So in here I'll type if. I'll put bracket for if. I'll check for age. I'll check if the applicant 1 is greater or equal to 25. I'll put comma. I'll pass the expression if it's true. I'll pass the expression if it's false. I'll put bracket. I'll put comma to go to to the second if, and then I'll check here. I'll check the age if it's less or equal to 40. I'll run true. I'll run true or false depending on whether that check. And remember, we have to put 2 brackets at the end so that the function is complete. When I press OK, this function completes. Now let's see when we use the or operator, how does it behave. Here we use the and operator. Now I'll autofill this function. You can see all candidates have qualified for true. Now even candidate who is age applicant 7, row number 9, his age is 54, but he doesn't qualify to be below 40. But since we used the and or operator and the first logical expression returned true, hence he qualified. So that's how when to know to use or and operator. So this is how we can use and or operator. Thank you.